Stop training like a retard or else you'll stay small forever. So, this video is about training hard and doing it the right way. Basically, um, throughout the first few years of my training journey, I've been training hard. I won't deny that, but I've been doing it in such a way that led me to mediocre and basically just suboptimal results. And as soon as I changed that, my progress blew up by quite a lot. And basically, to give you an idea about how I used to train, I used to basically just do either a push pull legs or a body part split and do a bunch of exercises, a bunch of sets, a bunch of fucking like drop sets and shit. And that just like, and each time I would like leave the gym, I would feel like absolutely destroyed and make fucking zero progress from that. Obviously, when you're first starting, you'll make progress doing fucking skip and rope, but as you get more advanced, you'll need to train smarter because you'll get away with less. And yeah, in the past like year to like 6 months, I've completely revamped my training. I've been training a lot smarter, and it has shown significantly more progress than what I used to have. Even so, that basically I've started noticing stretch marks in my closer to my shoulder to chest area. And imagine that, like imagine training for like 2 plus years, not seeing like basically super like shit progress basically. And as soon as like you change up some minor things, it makes like 80% of the fucking results. And yeah, so basically, if you want to do the same, if you want like super detailed information, how to program some like already calculated off traded amount splits, and how to program on your own, how to deal with injuries, how to fucking everything you basically need to know about programming and training and diet. I've already put it into my ebook, and it's basically in the description. So how you're gonna basically what I'm talking about in this video is how to train hard the smart way. And the first thing I'll talk about is to know exactly what you're in the gym to do. So that basically entails that if you're not already doing this, track your lifts either on a notes app or on like a gym log app. There are plenty of ones. I won't like recommend any because they don't fucking pay me, but just kidding. I use rep count. There's like heavy. There's like this one lifter where I put like already the splits that are in the ebook already like they're already like in the app already basically. So you just like click the link, you'll find the splits already like pretty already made up and shit. So basically, you want to track everything: your sets, your reps, how you felt. Was there like any pain or discomfort during that set? And like the most important thing is your intensity. How many reps did you leave? Basically, for most times you want to leave one rep in reserve, always. That basically makes sure that you're not running yourself into the ground, and that you won't like need deloads and shit. So, and what you want to do with that is basically set these bigger goals, which are like, let's say I want to get to 3 plates on the shoulder press. On like I have a where I train, I have like a shoulder press machine, and now I'm almost at like 3 plates, and I want to get to that. So my session to session, I make sure that I either add a small amount of weight or a just add a rep, basically just something that'll make me um, get closer to that goal as fast as possible. So, and by leaving a rep in the tank, not only am I getting stronger faster, but I'm also making sure that my other exercises don't go to shit, basically. And By doing that is just basic. It just makes me progress faster on everything. I don't remember the last time where I did not progress everything. So even if I was like in a deficit, in a surplus, maintenance doesn't fucking matter. I progress anyway. And the attitude you want to have towards your training is basically, I'm going into the gym. I know exactly what I need to do. I know my like the big goals. Those should just like be obvious to you, but the smaller ones, like, or the session to session goals, should be very clear. And the sole purpose is to basically either add a rep or add a little bit of weight and just do the same amount of reps. And that's like 90% of your training. The second thing I'll talk about is not overdoing it. So basically, don't take everything to failure. Obviously, failure should be like more of a tool to gauge how hard you're training. So basically, if you're doubting if the set was like at 1 IR, or just like being a bitch and leaving a bunch of fucking reps in the reserve, and you're not actually like progressing very well, train to failure like, I'd say like once every 2 to 3 weeks, just as like a way to determine if you're training actually hard. So because you don't want to do it a lot, because you're not stepping into the gym to do one exercise or like one muscle. You have like a list of mini goals that you need to achieve, and by going to failure on like each exercise, the last ones are not gonna like be progressing very well, because you're obviously, if you're still new, you can get away with much more, but as you get more advanced, I personally cannot. If I train a failure on like the first three exercises, I can pretty much guarantee that the last ones won't progress as well. Obviously, I'll still make progress because I'm still pretty new to the gym, or new to this like way of training, because basically what makes an advanced lifter from like a newer lifter is basically how bigger is the threshold of motor units that you can recruit. So as you get more advanced, you'll recruit more muscle fibers and more motor units, and that basically means you need the most amount of motor recruitment for those for those fibers to experience growth. And a newer lifter doesn't really need as much motor unit recruitment, which means they can do like less stable exercises, and they can like train to failure a lot more often and still get this or similar results basically. And that does not mean that if you train like shit, that it's like okay to train like shit, but you'll get more progress if you train properly basically. So one thing, like, as like use it as a tip to gauge how hard you're training, is you should not get out of the gym feeling like you were sexually assaulted in there, which means don't go so hard that it basically affects the rest of your day. If you train in the morning, when you leave the gym, you should have more energy, and your nervous system should be more excited uh, when you're leaving, basically. You should be like a little bit tired. Obviously, you just did a hard workout, but you shouldn't feel like shit the rest of the day. And that's basically a way to know if you're training like super hard or not hard enough. And yeah, hope you like this video. Comment something nice, or I'll sleep in with your mom.